A new app has been launched known as Tribe Naija. It is to help Nigerians discuss Nigerian problems and find solutions that will benefit all. Arise correspondent Punarima Feintola reports.
This is the Tribe Naija app. It's been created by a non-governmental organization, the Advocacy for One Nigeria initiative. They hope this app will help Nigerians have meaningful discussions about issues that affect them and find solutions. Nigerians have been having challenges of insecurity, socioeconomic dislocation that has engendered massive unemployment and occasioned by rising poverty. The group says a conversation may stop the unrest and reunite Nigerians.
By speaking, we would erase the divide. We will understand each other better, and I think to a great degree, we will see that we have a lot more than we think in common, and that's why this app has been developed. I've been at it for a while. The first I think 10 years, 12 years back, and in the last 2.5 years, we've been developing this, and we're here today. And we are also on this app. We have a voice note. You can leave voice messages. You can leave your comments on voice. And we're going to have language variations also as we go along. So the reach is enormous just for that reason alone.
The idea of Tribe Nigeria, which became Tribe Nigeria, started about 10 years ago. And we've been looking at things changing. And that's why I said, look, if you really want to make sense in today's world, you need technology. And that's why we're doing the app. Then the app's intention is to say, let us start by talking, and from talking, we can move on to the things that affect us. So we can look at these different topics under this discussion. You know, there's the topic of Nigeria Matters, topic about even food. So it's not just about politics, it's about food, about fashion, about Nigerians in the diaspora, because they are a very, very strong bloc.
The overall objective of the Advocacy for One Nigeria is to put Nigerians on the path of peace, unity, and stability. Punarima Feintola, Arise News.
Okay, for more on this story, convener of the Advocacy for One Nigeria initiative, Kola Abiola, joins us now in the studio. Very warm welcome and nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
All right, now tell us, to some discerning minds who just say, oh, is this a challenge to changing Twitter, just like the federal government has said? But what are the key socioeconomic benefits of App Naija or Tribe Naija?
Yeah. Thank you very much. This whole journey started 12 years back. We put pen to paper 10 years ago, and we started working on the app two and a half years back now. And the idea there is to create or continue to create faith in the democratic process. The idea there is to at least get the largest members of the democratic process in Nigeria. That's the demographic group that makes up almost 70% of this population to speak to each other, as opposed to trying to tear each other apart and tear the country apart, and don't allow them to be used to tear the country apart. It also allows us to speak to each other. It's an issue-based chat platform. If you want to chat to each other, you can go to your WhatsApps and so on, but this is issues-based chat program. So we have issues brought forward, we discuss them, we chat, and we begin to help find solutions.
How do you moderate such chats? Because we know some groups, some WhatsApp, for example, and what have you. You have administrators so that when they go foul of the rules and regulations, there is a strike.
It's built into the app itself.
Okay.
It's built into the app's AI, and based on the rules and regulations, the AI itself will kick in. So it's not anybody trying to influence anybody's thought process, but you're allowed to have a mature process. We hope over time we will mature enough to set the sentiments aside, set the emotions aside, look at the issues, and please come up with solutions, homegrown solutions. And who better to come up with solutions than the ones that are affected the most by it? And that's what this is designed to do.
All right, I'm a bit curious. 10 years in the works, and now you're launching it now. Any symbolic? Is there any reason why this is launched today, that we're celebrating the democracy, or it's just a coincidence?
We've actually set this day,
Okay.
June 12th, about a year ago, all right, to launch it. Why? Because
but you were not in Abuja when Mr. President, declared.
I was there.
Symbolically.
I was there.
Okay.
I received, not just that, I received the
Yes.
GSFR.
The GSFR award, yes.
So I was very much part of that.
Yes,
and that was a process that on its own took me 22 years to get to.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day. It took me 22 years to get that far. But this is being launched today because, as far as I'm concerned, it's Democracy Day.
Right.
And it's a significant day in the history of Nigeria. It's probably as significant as October 1st, if not more. And to launch such a thing on this day is to tell everybody that democracy should still be alive, have faith in that process, but as to how we do it, how we engage in it, is what should change. As far as I'm concerned, today we have just started to be democratic once again with this app. And that's what the process should be.
Well, some people will be looking at you wanting to get into, the political foray, but how, apart from the discourses that, the apps is going to allow, which is like a uniting factor for the whole country, which we all need, are you going to give the political parties, your platform to express, drive their views and the rest and discussions?
It's a user-driven platform. We haven't have a page for user-generated content. So it's a user-driven platform. And if that demographic out there still think they believe in what exists today, especially in two-party systems, or the two key parties, we will find out. But I also want and hope it'll give them an alternate to those two, and try to use that platform to do things a lot different. And when I say different, I mean looking at the same process. You can't run away from the democratic process. It's the only process we stand for. More importantly, we look at it as a united people. But the overriding thing there is to get that conversation going, get people involved, get as many of us involved to now decide and appreciate how big a strength you are, 51% of the voting public can do. And that's the age demographic we're talking about.
I was just
interesting to me. Sorry, question.
Okay, go on.
How you have chosen to employ technology, this time around, when we know all that is going on in terms of the ban on Twitter and what have you. What's your assessment of how this will be received, especially from the older generation, if I may use that?
I want to hope that I serve as a bridge in the divide, to bring my kids, that generation, to the forefront, and bring that so-called older generation to talk about to the center, and then we can collectively move forward. Now, I'm not using technology for the first time with this. I ran the 1993 election based on the technologies that are available at that point in time. I have been through it. I went through it in '79. I went through it in 92, 93, 94. I've experienced it. I have delivered on the best possible election in this country, this country has ever had. And at a tender age of maybe 29, 30, I've been disappointed. So I can appreciate and identify with the youth of today, that demographic of today. I was given an opportunity to work with the best political minds. Then I put the strategy together collectively with them. We executed and we were denied. I want to make sure that that never happens again in this country, because you have to see yourselves as your own troops to achieve the objective. Yeah.
All right. Let me move away a bit from the Tribe Naija app, which is a good innovation, and a lot of Nigerians will say, "Oh, Kola Abiola is coming out now, being seen as a businessman, But very quickly, a lot again would express their consternation what happened, you know, to Abiola Farms, Concord newspapers, Concord Airline, the oil, this thing. Why have they all gone under? They just went away with your father, Chief Kola Abiola.
I think it's a misconception to think they've gone under. And I pray no family, no individual has to go against a federal government. And no individual has to go against the wrath of a government. What you see is visible. Doesn't necessarily mean nothing hasn't gone right. You learn to understand that the less you talk, the less you're less in doing, the more you achieve. When you have to fight government, or when government decides to unleash all its apparatus on you, that experience alone for me has taught me that, look, I am not unemployed. I am not a lack of wanting to have things to do. As to how I do it is a lot different, and that's from the experience I've gotten from having to deal and survive a direct attack by government. So things have to be done differently. We always started at the very beginning. At that time, we were the largest private sector employer in Nigeria. Now they ruined that. Should I now visibly show everybody what I'm doing to show that I can make success of things I do? Nah, I mean, it's very foolhardy to do that. That point in time, everything we did was 100% equity. Equity, indigenous, homegrown equity. Should I continue with that same platform and not diversify my portfolio to learn from that? Please.
Thanks so very much. I wish we have all the time. Well, definitely would have to invite you again on our channels for other programs, you know, to say more. Kola Abiola, son of the Kola Abiola family and the founder of Tribe Naija app. Thank you
very much for having me, and thank you.